Welcome to Disneyland Paris. We're Andrew and Kate, married travelers exploring new and nostalgic places to help you plan the best vacations ever. We're at Disneyland Paris to show you the differences between this resort and the American Disney parks. We've been to Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort in California numerous times, and this is actually our return visit to Disneyland Paris after our first visit in 2022. Each Disney park is special with its own unique flair and attractions, but is a visit to the Paris parks worth it? Keep watching to see what's unique about Disneyland Paris. Disneyland Paris opened back in 1992, originally called Euro Disney. This resort features two parks, Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney Studios Park, along with the Disney Village, their version of Downtown Disney or Disney Springs. It's their own shopping and dining district. The whole Disneyland Paris resort is way smaller than Walt Disney World, which, if you've been to Florida, you know is basically the size of San Francisco. But it's also different from California, where the two parks are literally right across from each other. And honestly, the more compact size means less walking, which our feet are always thankful for. At Disneyland Paris, of course, Disney provides bus transportation to and from the parks to the resorts, just like at the American parks. But one of the coolest differences is how you can get to the parks if you're not staying on property. We just hopped on the RER train from the center of Paris and it dropped us off right at the entrance. Like, you walk out of the station and boom, Disney Village. It's so convenient. This also means you can stay in central Paris and make Disneyland Paris a day trip, or you can stay closer and visit for multiple days. Just like in California, there are two parks here, Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios Park. The main park has that classic Disney layout with the castle and hub and spoke layout with different lands, while Studios has a more movie production vibe, kind of like Hollywood Studios in Florida, but much smaller. The cool thing is how close everything is. You can literally walk from one park to the other in about 2 minutes, which is super convenient when you're trying to hit all of those rides in one day. Each visit would park hop really easily. Before we get into talking about the ride differences, let's take a moment for the castle, as it's one of the most standout features of Disneyland Paris. It is Sleeping Beauty Castle like in California, but the Paris version has some significant architectural differences that we've absolutely fallen in love with, and we consider this castle to be our favorite. The first thing you notice is how colorful it is. The vibrant pinks and blues pop way more than the California version, and it has these gorgeous stained glass windows that tell the story of Sleeping Beauty. But the best part, there is a dragon living under the castle. And not a cute little dragon either. We're talking a massive, scary, moving animatronic dragon that growls at you. While the castle is very cool to walk through, the dragon's lair is its own attraction. You can walk through at your own pace, and it feels like you've wandered into a scene of Sleeping Beauty itself. For Disney enthusiasts like us, the different rides make the visit well worth the trip. Some things are similar to the American versions, but with a twist. For example, we all know Haunted Mansion in World and Land, but in Disneyland Paris, they have Phantom Manor. It may look sort of like Haunted Mansion, but delivers a completely different narrative experience, darker and more cohesive, with a bit of Tragic Bride and Western Gold Rush themes. Similarly, the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril ride here will shock anyone who's been to the Disneyland version. Instead of a dark ride with a Jeep, it's actually a looping roller coaster. We loved the short and crazy coaster with all sorts of twists and turns. And though it's very similar to the American versions, we have to mention Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a very similar experience, but with a much longer ride than Disney World. In fact, it is 18 minutes long. It's the perfect place to cool down, get off your feet, enjoy a ride, and practice your French a little bit. Over in Walt Disney Studios, they have this ride called Crush's Coaster that is a crowd favorite and always has a massive line. It's a spinning coaster that goes through Finding Nemo scenes, and it is well worth the wait.
Take my picture, be sure to get my good side. Actually, they're all good sides.
The Toy Story area in Studios has super cute rides you won't find back in the States either. There's Slinky Dog. Instead of the dash, it's a zigzag spin. RC Racer is like a giant Hot Wheel track that goes back and forth, and the Toy Soldier's Parachute Drop is where you can feel like one of those little green army men. Back in Cars Land, Cars Road Trip presents a completely different approach from the Cars Land in California.
If you are an OG Disney person and we're back in Hollywood Studios whenever it was MGM and had the backlot tour, this is that ride. They've relocated it and rethemed it as Cars.
It's a leisurely guided tour through quirky roadside attractions. It's giving major Route 66 vibes with a French twist, which is quite random but a fun combination. So much water. Still in Walt Disney Studios, the Avengers Campus has Avengers Assemble Flight Force. This is an insane roller coaster that you can only ride here in Paris. That being said, when you're riding it, it will feel super familiar as it's actually a revamped version of the old rock and roller coaster. But now, it stars Iron Man and Captain Marvel. Over in Disneyland, Le Mystères du Nautilus is a distinctive walkthrough attraction in Discoveryland. This detailed recreation of Captain Nemo's submarine from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is something the American parks no longer offer since Disney World's submarine attraction closed many years ago.
Ta-da! Like I did. Wasn't it riveting? Now I know why this isn't in any other park, because what?
Even Buzz Lightyear's ride has differences. These targets and scenes are different from the ones in America, and the whole queue is themed very differently. And these rides actually work. We're very glad Disney World are getting a makeover to be more like this very soon. You can't miss Le Passage Enchanté d'Aladdin, a cute Aladdin walkthrough attraction that's basically a series of miniature scenes from the movie. It's one of those things that's perfect for when you need a break from the lines but still want to see something magical. We've noticed Paris has a greater emphasis on these intimate walkthrough attractions that encourage guests to slow down and appreciate the craftsmanship and Disney artistry. Another must-visit is Alice's Curious Labyrinth. This is a detailed hedge maze that you won't find in the American parks. It's a perfect example of how Disneyland Paris emphasizes more European sensibilities in its attraction design, drawing from rich tradition of garden mazes found throughout Europe. Speaking of walkthroughs, one of our favorite differences at Disneyland Paris is La Cabane de Robinson, Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. Unlike Disney World, which converted theirs to be a Tarzan treehouse years ago, and Disneyland California, which has recently reimagined theirs, Paris has preserved and enhanced this classic attraction. Skull Rock is also one of our favorite parts of the Paris park. This formation is massive and serves as a centerpiece for the surrounding adventure area.
We are walking into one of the most beautiful sunsets we have ever seen. Just exploring Skull Rock again because it looks so cool at night. I wanted to show you. But this is like a jaw-dropping sunset. Ooh.
The food options here reflect a wonderful blend of Disney classics and distinctive French influences. The Mickey-shaped foods are still here, but they're really different. We tried the French Mickey beignets, which have a noticeably different texture and flavor profile compared to the ones at the American parks. They're more aligned with French pastry techniques, lighter and less sweet than the New Orleans style covered in sugar. For sit-down dining, there's this amazing pirate restaurant called Captain Jack's in Adventureland that's inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Kind of like Blue Bayou in California, but this food has a Caribbean twist with French cooking techniques. The combo is chef's kiss. When you're visiting Disneyland Paris, one of the most obvious differences is hearing everything in both French and English. The ride narrations switch back and forth between the languages. Even during parades, characters will bounce between French and English phrases. They'll say things like "Bonjour mes amis," then switch to "Hello everyone," which is super cute and reminds you that you're definitely not in Florida anymore. While you don't need to be fluent in French to have a great time, you should know a few basic phrases like bonjour, hello, merci, thank you, and s'il vous plaît for please. Cast members usually smile bigger when you at least try to speak a little French before you switch to English. So there you have it. After hanging out here for several days, we can honestly say that this is worth crossing the ocean for, even if you've done Disney in America millions of times before. It's like Disney with a French accent, familiar enough to feel like home, but different enough to feel like a whole new adventure. Or a whole new world? The more laid-back vibe, unique rides, and gorgeous details make this feel like discovering Disney all over again. If you're planning a trip to Europe and you're a Disney fan like us, definitely squeeze in at least 1 full day here and 2 days if you can. And budget extra time for those amazing walkthrough attractions that we don't get stateside. Have you ever been to Disneyland Paris? Drop a comment below and let us know your favorite thing and what the differences you noticed are. Or tell us what you're most excited to see if you're planning on visiting. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video to keep up with the next tips and adventures. We've got tons more content coming from around the world, both Disney and beyond. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.